10 manly steps to get any girl you want. Now remember, you'd have to apply all 10 of these tips, not 3 or 4. 1. Women naturally get attracted to men who don't run after them. Why? Because the absence of an apparently clear motive helps create a secure space between you two, which makes her comfortable around you, which in turn opens up space for better conversations and open-minded dialogue. Women also see that as a sign of a secure man. For example, if in the initial few conversations you make it clear, I have no interest in you, you become the first guy in her entire life to have said that to her. See, the crippling thing about men is they're always trying, insidiously, insinuatingly, creeping in, dropping subtle hints of casual flirtation without missing a beat, always looking for a window. Understand a simple thing. You are not the first guy to do that, more like every guy she has met. 2. Just because you have mentioned you're not interested in her romantically doesn't mean you start ignoring her or acting like a jerk. Be curious about her instead of being interested in her. The way she's supposed to feel is, he is interested in knowing about me, myself, my life, and how interesting I am. Your curiosity will lead to more conversations and not flirting. Instead of devising thousands of plans on how to charm her, reading lines off the internet, what you are getting is crucial information regarding how she thinks, what she wants, what she likes. Is she interested in some guy? Is she over her ex? Does she love somebody? Is she a psycho? Is she after money? How important her career is to her? And more. A lot of people decide to get into relationships because they developed a crush on a person, and therefore now it's a pledge or an oath that they have to have that person. Dude, your crush made you want to talk to her. The decision, however, to share a grand amount of time emotionally and romantically should rest upon qualifications and your equation with her. A relationship is long-term. A crush is temporary and trivial. 3. Put your self-esteem above approval. In short, don't kiss ass. A lot of guys project themselves as too soft and conforming to every single thing she says. They think the perfect way to a woman's heart is by showing no resistance at all. I accept you and every word that comes out of your mouth unquestionably. That will land you in the friend zone. You are a yes man to her. You are ideal as a friend because you agree with everything she says and does. As a contender for her heart, you are uninteresting, boring, bland, and lack the ability to impress, surprise, and challenge her. But as a person who'd always be there to hear everything she has to say on the phone, you are perfect. 4. Women always claim they love maturity. What they're implying by that is they want to date men. But the definition of man becomes clouded because any person can define what a man is according to their understanding and learnings. What matters is what women mean when they say men. So the definition of a man is a guy who is 1. Stable. Now, that doesn't mean you have to be financially stable at the very moment you're talking to her. You have to be a millionaire or working at Google. No, it's the vibe they get from you, which can be described as dutifully ambitious. Everybody is ambitious. Only a few take it seriously. Are you focused, aiming for big things? How confident and obsessed and sure you are toward your goals? That's called mental stability. 2. Self-respecting, which means you stand up for your ideals, aren't afraid to disagree, aren't afraid to call out bullshit, and respect your life. Only when you respect yourself, the requirement for others to respect you arises. Most guys are never able to convey to girls that they have respect for themselves, and the simple reason for that is people simply don't think about 2 things. Who am I? And how do people see me? These 2 simple things bring self-awareness into your life. How many times have you actually cared to think, who are you and what impression do people form of you after meeting you? The truth is, we take self-respect for granted. I'm so cool in my eyes, clearly I deserve respect from everybody. And that makes you a child. If I ask you right now, why should I respect you? You wouldn't be able to come up with a single answer that has meaning to it, not lingering self-doubt. And that's what women notice too when they talk to you. I'm not saying that women don't date such guys, they do it very frequently, but that image of you stays in her mind. And the day she meets a guy who is self-respecting, challenges her notions, and appears mature to her, he will satisfy that requirement you never could, ultimately creating attraction. 3. A streak of rebellion. One of the basic requirements to attract any girl is to appear interesting. The image of you in her mind should consist of this word. Women in their minds strongly judge guys on how they make them feel. And if the word she thinks of when she thinks of you It's interesting that the emotion you're going to make her feel is excited, because women largely derive excitement from mental stimulation. What every guy basically tries to be is thoughtful, considerate, kind. Basically, I am the fairest, nicest guy on the planet. I understand and respect everything. This persona is every guy's choice because it is safe. You are projecting the right behavior. You want to show her you are a nice guy. Nice is not interesting. Nice is pleasant and cordial, but it's not turning her mind upside down. It's not adding that want in her to talk to you for hours and hours more. You know why? Because every nice thought you have and are presenting to her, she's already thought of those, heard them, and is selling the same shit back to you by agreeing with you. It's nothing new. What do you like to watch on television? Shows based on the same old predictable storyline you've watched before, or something new? We love shows that make us think, that are out of the ordinary, characters that rebel, aren't reminiscent of people around you. For example, Sherlock. People love Sherlock because of his different outlook on life, people, human behavior, philosophy, even though it comes at the expense of hurting other characters' feelings. He is an asshole to everyone around him. Yet, you, the viewer, you love him and never categorize him as a jerk because you are presented with his point of view. Now try to understand what I'm saying here. I'm not saying you to become Sherlock Holmes, and I'm not asking you to become a jerk. People always want something new, and people love those new things to stimulate their minds, make them think differently. Let's take the example of jerks. A jerk can be something new that is simply rude and unpleasant. But after a while, it won't be new anymore, and your jerkness would simply become offensive behavior to which no human being takes a liking. It's a huge misconception that girls like abusive jerk assholes because that is your point of view of that guy. And that very well could be the personality of that guy. But if he is able to easily court women, charm them, and is popular amongst them, then trust me, you are yet to find out what aspect of his unorthodox behavior he is presenting to them. In simple words, you know who that guy is from your personal interactions. You don't actually know what his game is with women. You're judging him based on his evil motives, but you're clueless as to how he does it. And that how most definitely isn't calling her up and simply being outright rude and brutish. No woman takes it. Do you know how many options any woman has at all times in her life? No woman is prepared to, nor bears abuse from one guy because she has to. They will dump your ass. Try doing that with the girl you're courting right now or your girlfriend, and notice how promptly she stops talking to you. Women will always have the upper hand in terms of dating, simply because they win in the number of members of the opposite sex dying to be with them. What you never care to find out are the tactics guys whom you call jerks employ. For example, a very common tactic is holding back all the approval one gives to a girl and then dropping it bit by bit in a manner which makes her feel as if she's earning it. Basically, you're saying the very things every guy says to her, but you make it seem as if she has to work for that, and this creates a huge psychological difference. To create a similar effect, here's an alternative. In your conversations, whenever she tells you something about her, ask her questions that expand the topics at hand, such as, why do you believe that? What made you accept that? Two great things happen when you start questioning her decisions, choices a bit deeper. One, you're talking about her, which is something she likes because of self-interest. Two, you're making her go off script. What I mean by that is usually people have recorded answers to general questions or details about their past because they have answered or talked about the same things many times before. By asking something that pushes deeper than the script, you make them slightly defenseless. The conversation grows more personal, and you also start getting a glimpse of how they think. 4. Lone wolf. Yes, women are attracted to guys who are complete. That doesn't mean you're always alone, don't have friends, are very dark, brooding, or simply hate the world. What that means is you can take care of yourself. You're a man who is not trying to fix himself, or worse, doesn't know how to fix himself. This is why I'm so broken and alone sympathy stick doesn't work. That too will land you in the friend zone. Friend zone because women love dramatic and emotional content and generally have a caring nature, so she will listen to your bullshit and empathize. But in her subconscious, the ideal man is not the one who needs fixing. This also explains why a lot of guys complain that their girlfriends or partners try to change them a lot. This happens because even though she has decided to date you, she still isn't willing to let go of that ideal image of the man in her head. And clearly you don't fit that. So almost imperceptibly, she starts getting annoyed with your certain habits, friendships, and behaviors in the name of immaturity. and immaturity is a keyword which she will always use to express her annoyance. In all fairness, she's not lying. She actually believes she's doing you a favor by trying to change you, not realizing she's acting purely out of her imagined, subconsciously created notion of what an ideal man is. And you are not that guy in her eyes yet. Lone wolf implies not somebody abandoned, not a sufferer, but a guy who doesn't need people to be complete. Now you might wonder, why then would such a guy look for a girlfriend? Another question you might be wondering is, if that guy is not the ideal man she wants, why would she even decide to date him? I will answer all your questions, address all your curiosities, and share the rest of the many points on how to get any girl in the next video. I'm stopping here because this is already too much information. Let it settle in your head. To watch the next part, subscribe to this channel and turn on the notifications, because YouTube doesn't send you the video. Notification is the only way you get informed. Those who want to remain connected with me, go to my Instagram, come to Facebook, join me there. All the links are below. Thank you for watching, and never forget, you are awesome.